Three Republican House lawmakers sent a letter to the CEOs of Alphabet, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft asking whether they've taken steps to address national security concerns over submarine communication cables. Joining us right now is a ranking member of the Select China Committee, Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. Congressman, welcome. First of all, I think you know what this is about. This letter you didn't sign, but I'm hoping that you can explain what's at stake here.
Yeah, I actually echo the concerns of this letter. Just to level set for your viewers, the vast majority of undersea cables in the world are built, owned, operated, and maintained by private entities, including Alphabet, Meta, Amazon, and other companies in the U.S. And so what we're saying to these companies is be very, very careful about not using CCP or Chinese Communist Party controlled entities to either build or maintain or service those cables, because they have a history of potentially nefarious activities regarding those cables.
What do we know in terms of the demonstrable risk and what you've seen on the maintenance piece? I understand buying cables, for example, from the Chinese clearly would pose a problem, but on the maintenance side of it?
Same issue. Basically, unfortunately, in these CCP-controlled entities, they are tasked often by their intelligence services to conduct surveillance, to hack into telecommunications networks, and they collaborate with those intelligence agencies regarding the same. That's why, for instance, Huawei, which, by the way, is a big player in actually building these undersea cables, as well as SBSS, another carrier or another company that maintains these cables, should not be used by American entities. And so we are telling these companies, again, be very cautious about working with the CCP, and I actually support the FCC, which is now putting in place rules which would prohibit CCP-controlled entities from building or maintaining or servicing these lines.
Let me ask you a broader question. For many years, Huawei and a number of other Chinese companies, basically built out the infrastructure in places like Africa and parts of South America and parts of Europe and elsewhere. And they really got to dominate those spaces in part because they were providing much cheaper service, or at least cheaper products to those places. Do you think the U.S. made a mistake in either not trying to subsidize American business to do that? These cables which you talk about being Chinese, what do you think I hate to use the phrase industrial policy, but do you think we're supposed to have an industrial policy around this, not just to tell companies what to do, but to make it so it's economically feasible or not?
I don't know if it's industrial policy, but we need policies that basically do what you are saying. We've basically left the playing field, so to speak, to CCP-controlled entities to dominate the landscape, especially with regard to telecommunications, especially in Africa. And, our repeated failure, for instance, to, have an offering similar to what they call the Belt and Road Initiative means that we are essentially ceding a lot of commerce to these CCP-controlled entities. And essentially what's going to end up happening is that they're going to increasingly control these commercial spaces, whether it's in Africa, the Middle East, or in the developing world.
Congressman, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. We will talk to you again very, very soon. It's a fascinating issue.